Hi, my name is Henry, and in this video, I'll explain the 3 product marketing metrics that you should think about. But before we get started, please make sure to smash the like button to help with the YouTube algorithm. Also, make sure to check out the Product Marketing Certified course in the link below. So what are the 3 metrics that every product marketing manager should think about? Let's take a step back. What are the 3 things that every marketer should think about? The first thing that comes to mind is brand awareness. How many people know about your product? Second, demand generation. How many potential customers can you actually generate? And third, conversion rates. How many of those potential customers can you actually convert into paying customers? So in short, you can think of marketing as a funnel. You have awareness, consideration, and decision. And awareness is tied to your brand. Consideration is tied to your demand gen efforts. And the decision is tied to your conversion efforts. So what are the collateral associated with each of these? Brand awareness could be a campaign that is just driving the most amount of impressions and visits to your site. The thing you want to measure there is going to be impressions, visits, and more importantly, brand perception. So let me go into that in more detail. What is brand perception? Brand perception is 2 things. 1, how many of your potential customers know about your brand? And secondly, what's their perception of your brand? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it neutral? And an easy way to do this is before running a brand campaign is to create a survey and survey about 100 people from your potential customers and see first if they know about you, and 2, what's their perception about you. That way, after you run your brand awareness campaign for about 3 to 6 months, you can do another survey, surveying a similar pool, but people you haven't reached out to before, and see what their brand perception of you is now. Hopefully, your brand campaign is effective and more people know about you and they perceive your brand in a more positive manner. That is on the brand awareness front. You want to track the number of impressions, how many people saw your campaign, how many of those people actually visited your website as a result of those campaign, and what was the end brand perception result of your campaign. Next, you have demand gen, and the metric that you want to think about there is marketing qualified leads. What is a marketing qualified lead? It's basically a lead that your sales team can actually work with to close a potential deal. And this is important, especially when it comes to B2B. The last thing your sales team wants to think about is getting a bunch of leads that aren't even qualified to use the product, or maybe they're not the type of businesses that would use the product. And here you can think about what kind of content you want to put out there that is the value add for the industry that you're targeting, so that they would actually give their contact information to you in exchange. So you have the number of marketing qualified leads as your core metric. The more qualified leads you have, the more likely that your sales team can actually hit their revenue targets. And finally, you have conversion rates. And when I say conversion rates, this can also mean win rates. Win rate is basically the number of customers divided by the number of leads. So how many of those leads were you able to convert into paying customers? And this is where sales collateral is really important. You want to be able to give your sales team the right collateral so they can close on these leads. These collateral can include one-pagers, pitch decks, and usually the more specific you can get, the better. So for example, let's say there's a customer from a specific vertical that is interested in your SaaS product. You want to be able to create some sort of collateral that speaks exactly to their needs and also show them that you had success in the same vertical that they're in. And that way, the likelihood of them actually buying your product is a lot higher. And a good way to measure win rate is to see what is the win rate currently, and then measure the win rate after that collateral has been introduced. So let's say the current win rate is 15%, and you find that customers are really concerned about the cost of your product. And let's say you create a collateral that explains in detail why your product is so expensive and why it's worth it. You introduce that collateral, and 3 months later, you see that your win rate has skyrocketed from 15% to 30%, which is huge. That means you've doubled the amount of customers that you were able to convert from leads. So that's an easy way to measure your impact. In summary, you have brand awareness. You want to track impressions, visits, and brand perception via survey. The second thing is marketing qualified leads. You want to track that by looking at 3 months before, 3 months after, based on the content that you introduce. And then finally, you have conversion rates, which is also win rate. And a good way to track that is to look at the impact of your sales collateral before and after over a 3-month period. I know that was a lot. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and comment below on what kind of videos you want to see next. Till next time, see you.